Hi, I'm Nancy from Cucumber Clothing, and this month I'm really pleased to be sitting here with Sian Sutherland from A Plastic Planet. Welcome, Sian.
Thank you so much.
Now, we're all aware that the world is changing. We've all seen the videos of plastic and rubbish washing up on all our shores. We're having a really hot summer at the moment that scientists say is probably down to global warming. So the first question really is, what can we all do as individuals to help reduce our footprint in this world?
I think it's a good question, because it's so easy for us as shoppers, as consumers, to feel really powerless.
Yes.
Because the scale of the problem appears so overwhelming. And shopping is a great example of that, where which is really why A Plastic Planet exists in the first place, because we recognised a year and a half ago, when we were involved in the launch of the film A Plastic Ocean, and we became so conscious that you're getting people to see this incredible documentary, harrowing in parts, when they open up the birds and you see all the plastic, and the realisation of really what we have all collectively done. All of us are part of this problem, what we've done, and you wake up to that, and then you want to change. You go to your supermarket and it's a sea of plastic.
It's very difficult.
And it's impossible for you to change. So then you come away, with all this shed load of plastic. You unwrap everything, you put it in your recycling bin, thinking, I'm doing my bit.
Absolutely.
I'm putting it in the recycling bin. And unfortunately, now we know the truth about recycling. And actually only 9% of all the plastic that we use ever gets recycled, and that may be only once.
So your whole thing really is forget recycling, stop using plastic in the first place.
And so our whole thing, our mission is, we just want to ignite and inspire the world to turn off the plastic tap. And we don't talk about recycling, we don't talk about circular economies, we just talk about let's use less of it in the first place. So our first campaign last year was, let's give the shopper, you and me, who don't want to be part of the problem anymore, we want to be part of the solution, let's give them choice. We have so much choice in our supermarkets.
Options,
Yeah, and at the moment you don't. So in this world where you can buy everything free, can't you? Every gluten-free, fat-free, dairy-free. We have so much choice. You can even choose what sex you want to be. It's extraordinary. We live in this world of and yet you can't shop plastic-free. So for us it was just, let's ask the supermarkets to give us just one aisle.
And I know you've managed I think the first one opened in Amsterdam and is rolling out across the Netherlands. When do you think that's likely to happen in this country?
Well, I think things are happening in this country, but to be honest, we have gone, last year was a real tipping point for awareness about the whole plastic pollution issue, particularly in the UK because of Blue Planet too.
Yes.
And every retailer you meet with, they'll talk about the Blue Planet effect. And so we've gone from knowing nothing to suddenly being very aware, and the whole of the UK is now the noisiest nation in the world about plastic, but it's all words.
It's all words.
There's very little action. It's far too slow.
I mean, there's small things like, for example, if I want to go and buy coffee in Starbucks, for example, I know if I take my own mug, they give me 50p off. I mean, those are little things, but it's more than just carrying around a reusable bottle with you, isn't it, for your water? I mean, for example, new mums, how would you advise them? I mean, I had 3 kids and I'm afraid to say that I used disposable nappies. We all did then, but now we know we shouldn't be doing that.
And you probably used a plastic bottle for milk and things like that.
Exactly.
I mean, if I look back, my boys are a bit older, 24 and 25. We took that plastic bottle with formula in, popped it in the microwave to warm it up.
Yes.
Because it was all about speed and ease.
But
now
we are used to that convenience, so
Yeah.
we need to find convenient ways to live a better life.
Yes. So if I were a new mum, I would avoid plastic wherever I can. I would definitely only use glass bottles now.
Right.
I would never use plastic. I mean, the whole nappy thing is a great subject because it's something where we're very focused on food and drink, but already we're working with a company called G Diapers, who are out there in the US, and they recognise that, you look at somewhere like Indonesia, second biggest polluter in the world, 20% of their plastic comes from nappies alone.
Gosh.
So these are nappies that are used, for a matter of hours, filled with poop, somehow make their way into the ocean, into landfill, and they will exist for centuries. And yet we're never going to want to lose that convenience. We're not going to go backwards.
No.
But people like G Diapers have created compostable nappies.
Right.
Because isn't that a brilliant, smart idea that you've got something in there, pee and poop, which actually should be, is naturally compostable.
Yes.
And now you simply need the nappy to be equally compostable. And so there's a lot coming down the road. So I am super optimistic. I'm always the eternal optimist.
You are,
that we're going to crack this. My God, look, number one, we invented the most incredible material, plastic. It's such a miracle material.
But we need to be careful how we use it.
We're using it wrongly.
Yes.
We should never be using it for food and drink. That's the problem. So to go back to your question of what can you do as a consumer, I think we have way more power than we think. Everything, all brands and all supermarkets want to do what the consumer wants,
Absolutely.
what the shopper wants. And so this is where we have a lot of power. So wherever you can, really make an effort to, if people are trying to sell things plastic free, make sure you choose them. We have to make those brands and businesses a success. So that's the first thing. And then some very clear things in the home. I would never, ever cook in plastic. So if you have a ready meal, decant it into something that's non-plastic and then pop it in the oven.
Oh gosh.
Because so many people are cooking in plastic. It is not good for our health. So many health
The
scientists will
plastic
tell you
leaches
that.
into the food.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we have no idea yet what the
What the
true
long-term
impact of
effect
that will
is.
be,
Mhm.
not just on us, but on the future generation. I would banish cling film. Cling film is a little bit of the devil. So that's something where it's hard to think that we can live without. But people say to me, "What am I going to cover stuff with in the fridge?" And you say, "Put a plate on it." What did your mum do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Greaseproof paper, little rubber band holding it all together. Use that on your cheese and meat rather than using cling film.
Right.
Because that's become the default for everything.
It has.
Plastic's become the
Plastic's the
default for
default.
everything, and that's what we've got to wean ourselves off. So simple things like that. And the water bottle, we will look back on this generation and we will 100% think, what kind of marketing madness happened here? That in the UK, where we've got perfectly good drinking water, and of course you can filter it if you want to, that we suddenly thought that you had to have your big litre bottle of Evian or whatever, walk around the street, and it was almost a status symbol. And
Not
we are
anymore.
now at that tipping point, which makes my heart
Yes.
very happy that we're now at that tipping point where it is no longer cool to walk down the street.
And we've come a long way in just over a year, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not that pace, it needs to pick up, but the issue's not going away because there is so much more that's going to start to be talked about. And one thing is going to be, we know about our plastic oceans, plastic soil. There is so much plastic in our soil that we're growing our food in now.
Okay, so very quickly, sorry
Yes.
to interrupt, I'm going to cast you away now on your beautiful plastic-free island. There's not going to be any debris washing up on your shores. The
I
fish
love it
will
already.
be-
I'm happy.
The fish are not going to have changed sex from consuming too much plastic. What is the one thing that you want to take with you that is eco-friendly to help you while away your time there?
I think if I could only have one thing, it would have to be music. And obviously music would be great because it can be the tiniest little thing because now music is digital.
Yeah, and music is recyclable. We listen to it again and again and again.
Yeah, and actually music's an interesting one for me because it's a little like the new way that we're going to use cars in the future. And music, who would have dreamt that we wouldn't buy records, tapes, CDs and have a physical music? And now we don't. And we've become very used to that we don't actually own anything. We don't need the stuff that comes around music, we just need the music
And that
itself.
can apply to our whole lives.
That's how it's
Yes.
going to be in the future. I think the way that we consume in the future will be very different. Because actually when we talk about our overconsumption, it's not overconsumption. We only actually consume food and drink.
Yeah.
It's overaccumulation.
Yeah.
It's all the stuff that we surround ourselves with. And that's going to be a very different model in the future.
So the message to take away is have a good clear out. It's good for your mental health as well. And we will put at the bottom of our little film a link to your film so people can see exactly what it is you've been talking about.
Great.
Thank you very much. Really
Thank you.
interesting. And we could have talked for hours. Thanks.